this guitar lesson, we're going to practice our flat picking using the song called Nothing to It by Doc Watson. Now, we're not going to learn this song note for note exactly like Doc Watson played it, but we'll get pretty close and kind of get the gist of it. And we'll work on a lot of those Doc Watson style licks as we work through this arrangement. Really think this is a good arrangement to learn because it's got a lot of unusual note combinations that you're probably not too familiar with. So learning these note combinations and these new licks, I think will help you improve your flat picking skills a lot. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to pull up guitar tablature on the screen and we'll work through this arrangement one line at a time, as always. And I'm going to give you all some really good flat picking tips along the way here. So here's the first line of the tablature. Let me go ahead and play through this for you so you can hear it, and then I'll break it down for you. All right, so the first measure is just a pickup measure. We have a few pickup notes that will lead us into the main melody that actually starts in the second measure there. So the main progression, the main melody starts in the second measure. Those three pickup notes, we just have three down picks. Just working up that first string right there. Open, first finger, second finger, and then let's learn the second and third measures. One more time, measures 2 and 3. You're starting with your ring finger right there, that third fret. So, dun, open, dun. Quick slide right there. See that little SL in the tablature written above the notes there? It's a quick slide from the third fret to the fifth fret. Your ring finger. So you land right there at the beginning of the third measure on your pointer finger and then work into the C chord just like that. Pause if you want to work on that. Then measures 4 and 5. Let's learn that right now. Sounds like this. So there in measure 4, we're actually forming an F major open chord. But what I do here when I'm playing this F chord, I actually don't bar my pointer finger all the way across. You know how you normally bar your pointer across the first and second strings? I don't do that. I just press my pointer on the second string and then leave that high string open just because we're not using it. It's a lot easier to play the F chord this way. I'm sure most of y'all know that already. But anyways, measure 4, form that F chord, and then one, 2, and 3, and 4, and the first part of that, you're basically just holding that F chord down. And then lift up your ring finger. Play the rest out there. Then when you're ready, measure 5. Just put your pointer finger down on that first fret there, and then work into the C chord for the bass pick and the strum. All right, let's play this line one more time. Take a good listen, and then you can practice it on your own. So here we go, starting with the pickup measure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Dun, dun, dun. Pause the video if you want to work on that. Now let's pull up the next line. We got measures 6 through 9. Sounds like this. Okay, so let's check out measure 6 right now. This is one of those classic Doc Watson style licks in the key of C. This is all eighth notes here. So measure 6, you do. Starting with your ring finger there. And then you got to move your ring finger up to the 5th fret to catch that note. So it's all ring finger up to that point. And then middle finger on that 4th fret. Very cool lick. And then measure 7. Measure 7, we're just doing the C chord basically, but right at the beginning of measure 7, that 1st fret, you just need your pointer finger down, but then work into the C chord as you do the bass note pick and that strum there. So measure 7. But then we have one more down pick at the end of measure 7 on that 2nd fret. I use my middle finger right there. Working that melody up to the 8th measure, which we'll get to in 1 second. So let's play measures 6 and 7 one more time. And then measures 8 and 9. Fingering is pretty important right here, measures 8 and 9. I'm starting with my ring finger on that 3rd fret, beginning of measure 8. So dun, 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 to the middle right there. Dun, 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 back to the ring finger there at the end of it. Oops, excuse me. And then measure 9. You got your pinky right behind that ring finger that you just played at the end of measure 8, you know? And then just put your pinky down, start forming that G chord, and then work into the G chord for the rest of it, for the pick and the strum. That bass note was pretty loud. Sorry about that. Just like that. Hopefully that makes sense. Pause the video if you want to work on measures 8 and 9. Let's put it all together here. Let's play measures 6 through 9 so you can hear it. All right. Let's measure 6 through 9. If you're ready, let's pull up the next line. We got measures 10 through 13. Sounds like this. Really like this line a lot. First part's pretty straightforward here in measure 10. Measure 10, right at the beginning of it, you see we're right at the 8th fret, and I'm using my pinky right there. Dun, 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 dun. But then you go back down to this location right here, the 3rd to 5th fret, you know. So 8th fret with the pinky, but then back down the fretboard. That's measure 10. Nice little hammer on there. Measure 11. Goes like this. One more time, measures 10 and 11. So if you're ready, let's go to measures 12 and 13. Goes like this. All right, let's look at measure 12. Measure 12, we're going to work into the F chord shape, kind of one finger at a time here, almost. So measure 12, we're starting with our middle finger only on that second fret, because we just, right before it, the into measure 11, remember we did this, da, da, and here we are in measure 12, the middle finger, but then put your ring finger down and start forming that F chord basically, right after that very first second fret note, measure 12. So middle, and then start forming the F chord to play the rest of it. It's kind of unusual, but I think it sounds really cool actually. It's one of those unusual note combinations. Just pause video if you want to practice that a bit. Then measure 13, we're going back to the C chord, and this is real basic, real similar to what we've already done. So it's just pick, strum, 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 pick, pick. All right, let's play this line one more time. Measures 10 through 13. All right, moving along here, let's pull up the next line. We got measures 14 through 17. Sounds like this. Okay, measure 14. It's over the F chord, but we're just playing a little lick like this. Pretty straightforward. Starting with the middle finger there on that second fret. So dun, 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 dun. Pause if you want to work on that. Then measure 15. Measure 15 right there. We're sliding up real fast with that ring finger. You see we're sliding from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret. It's a real quick slide. So, let's measure 15. All right, now let's learn measures 16 and 17. So here we go, measures 16 and 17. So measure 16, starting out right there on the middle finger. Middle finger, you're pressing that 4th fret, so middle, ring, to the pointer, so dun, 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 dun. And that slide is with the ring finger, sliding from the 5th fret down to the 3rd. It's all eighth notes. And then measure 17, pick, strum, 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 strum. Go to that C chord and measure 17. All right, let's play this line one more time. Measures 14 through 17. So everything we've learned up to this point, we're going to call that the A part. And then coming up here in a second, we're going to learn the B part and the C part. But right now, real quick, let's just do a recap of what we learned up to this point. We're going to go back to the very beginning and play through everything we've learned. Practice with me or just take a good listen. Start with that pickup measure, and I'll count us in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. That is how you play the A part melody. Next, we're going to move on to the B part melody. Let's go ahead and pull up tablature on the screen for the B part. This B part starts in measure 18. And let me just play this line for you real quick so you can hear it. Measures 18 through 21. Here we go.